Hi, my name's John Richardson. I'm a biologist at the University of British Columbia, and I've worked in freshwaters around many parts of the world, but especially in British Columbia over the last 40 years. Um, I've worked on small streams like the one behind me here, right out to the Fraser River. I've worked in lakes and wetlands and bogs and other things. I'm mostly interested in the biology of the organisms that live there, and so we have been studying various kinds of things. We look at land use impacts on organisms and ecosystems, ecosystem processes. That includes things right from bacteria and fungi through algae, invertebrates, fish, amphibians, small mammals in some cases. And so we've tried to understand both how these systems function naturally by doing experimental work where we can manipulate the inputs like the food resources, how much nutrients, how much organic matter. We can manipulate the kinds of species, so presence absence of some fish perhaps by caging them off. We can add extra food in the form of caterpillars. So we can do a lot of different kinds of things to understand how these systems work. That leads really easily to then thinking about how do land use decisions around our freshwaters affect those ecosystems. So for instance, I'm in a research forest right now, UBC's research forest out in Maple Ridge. And we've done a lot of work here over the last 25, 30 years trying to understand how forestry impacts small streams. And so what we've been able to do is to both look at reference streams, and we've had streams where we've left different kinds of buffers, clear cut beyond 10 meters, clear cut beyond 30 meters, sometimes clear cut right to the stream side. And because we know how these systems function, we know how light affects them, how the nutrients affect them, how the organic matter that falls into them affects them, we can then make some predictions about how land use affects these ecosystems and then experimentally test this in the field by doing these large-scale experiments in some cases. We've also done experiments where we just use cages and streams. Sometimes we even take animals back to the lab. We have experimental stream channels, which allow us to manipulate a large number of different kinds of things. And all of these have taught us an enormous amount about our freshwaters in British Columbia, which are extrapolatable to many parts of the world and to many other kind of land uses. So in the case of, say, mining, agriculture, urbanization, many of the same principles operate around freshwaters. The things that we change around those freshwaters is a little bit different, but not that much. So we understand from first principles how many of these things work, and that allows us to at least make predictions about how these things might be affected, and we can then go and follow them. And so that's the kind of nature of the research we do. It lines up with all sorts of different kinds of applied applications of freshwater biology. And so thanks for listening.